Hello and welcome to today's Infopedia web conference. You've joined us for Azure Digital Partner of Record. Kicking us off today is Osa Eliho, who is a Digital Partner of Record lead. Osa, you now have the floor.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Osa Eliho. I'm the Digital Partner Record lead in WPG for all cloud services. I'm here with Junsuk Oh from our incentives team, as well as Derek Cheshire from our marketing team. Today I'm going to run you through an overview of Digital Partner of Record, and then talk a little bit about its benefits for both Microsoft and our partners. And then after that, talk to you about some pillars that will be helpful to look through as you look at Digital Partner of Record, some pillars that you can look at it through, and then give you an idea of the status of our current launch. After that, I will walk you through a customer experience of how a customer attaches a partner of record. And then Junsuk is going to jump in and walk you through the incentives transition. And then finally, Derek is going to walk you through some communication dates, some communication plans, and some key dates. And then after that, we'll open the IM window for some Q&A. So in our current process, partners use PSX to request incentives, and for competencies, there's also a very manual form-based process for the cloud platform competency. Regarding PSX, partners have complained that it's highly administrative and it creates an operational burden for them. It also doesn't scale because one of the requirements of a partner being able to access PSX is that they need to be managed. So what we're doing is we're actually delivering Digital Partner Record for Azure, which enables a customer to attach a digital partner at a subscription level. Once this is done, there's several outcomes that we will get. One, we'll be able to consistently pay incentives. Two, we seamlessly will be able to qualify partners into the cloud platform competency. And three, we would have visibility into consumption that our partners are driving on behalf of their customers. From a benefits perspective, there's several benefits that partners get from the Digital Partner of Record experience. One is an improved partner experience. Moving from PSX to a digital process reduces the overhead, and it leads to an overall better experience for our partners. They continue to get benefits from Microsoft. They get credits towards the cloud platform competency and also eligibility for incentives. And now that we're moving away from PSX, all cloud platform partners are eligible for incentives, so it actually extends the number of partners that can qualify for this. From Microsoft's perspective, it allows us to scale our partner ecosystem now that we have more partners that are eligible. We also have faster data connections because when a partner of record is attached, it's pretty much instant, and that gives us almost real-time view into the consumption data. And then the digital nature of the attach process removes errors and potential compliance issues downstream. When you think about Digital Partner of Record, it's kind of helpful to look at it in three perspectives, or three pillars. One is around incentives. Second is reporting, and then the third is around competency qualification. For incentives, the DPR data is actually used to calculate the eligibility. For reporting, what we do is we integrate with Azure Insights to provide consumption data reporting into both the field-facing Partner Insights report as well as the partner dashboards on MPN. And for competency, the data will be used to automatically qualify partners that meets the minimum threshold requirements for the cloud platform competency. As far as the launch goes, here's a quick status. The BG enabled the Digital Partner Record feature in December on a new platform called OMS. There is migration happening to this new platform, and that's due to be complete for both EA and Direct on 8/1. GMOBI will actually provide field and partner reporting. Field reporting will be at the start of June, and partner reporting will be available at the start of July. And this will provide insights into the consumption data. And finally, the team is on track for an incentive launch on 8/1 and a late September launch for the automatic competency qualification. So what I want to do now is kind of walk you through the customer experience that the customer goes through when they want to attach a digital partner of record. The first thing they do is they log onto the Azure Account Center and they select their subscription. Once they do that, they click on the partner information, and then the pop-up on the right-hand side of the screen becomes visible to them. The customer gets the partner ID from the partner, and they enter it into the input box on that screen. And once they do that and submit it, they've attached the partner as a digital partner record, and that's all they have to do. If they need to remove a partner for whatever reason, or if they need to delete a partner for whatever reason, they either update the box to change it, or they delete the box, they clear the box to actually remove the partner. The partner gets an email whenever a change has been made to the partner of record, whether they've been added or removed, and this capability doesn't exist right now. It will become available on 8/1 as well. So before I hand over to Junsuk, there are just a couple of things I want to call out. We will be providing a field-facing FAQ well before 8/1 to ready the field, so in case they can support partners who have questions on this. And this will be specifically for digital partner of record. There'll be a separate incentives FAQ for FY16. If customers have any questions or any issues adding a partner of record, they can get support from the Azure support team, which is available on the account portal as well. And there was a question yesterday about which roles can change the POR. We're finding that out, and we would include the response in the FAQ for that. So now I'll actually change it over to Junsuk, who will walk you through the incentives transition.
Hello, my name is Junsuk Oh, and I am the go-to-market lead for the Azure Consumption Incentive Program in the Worldwide Partner Group. I will walk you through on how the Azure Consumption Incentive Program will transition with the new Digital Partner Records functionality. With this feature, as also mentioned, Microsoft now has a scalable process that can be applied to a broader set of partners, allowing us to expand our eligible partner base. On July 31st, the current FY15 Azure Incentive Program based on the PSX process will end. This will be replaced on August 1 by an FY16 program based on Digital Partner Record. The FY16 program will run until end of September 2016, and from then onwards will align to the October refresh cadence of all of our other cloud incentive programs. Gold or silver cloud platform competency partners will be eligible, and all active statuses, competency statuses, which include active earned, active pre-approved, active non-compliant, and active inherited, will be treated as having an active competency. EAS Campus and School, MS-led for China, and WebDirect Azure subscriptions will be eligible for this incentive. Other key business rules will remain the same as FY15, meaning partner-owned subscriptions will continue to not be eligible. Subscriptions owned by public sector customers in certain geos, such as US and India, will continue to be out of scope. And Azure services that do not consume monetary commitment and are seat-based, such as EMS and AADP, are not eligible. Note that for EMS and AADP, partners are currently getting paid on assigned seats through the Online Services Advisor Deploy program. In the FY16 Azure incentive, there will be a 120K USD max cap per subscription per VORG during the FY16 program period. So even if a partner asks the customer to assign one of their other MPN IDs, if the newly attached or assigned MPN ID is still under the same VORG, the incentive earnings will continue to count towards the same 120 cap per subscription. I do want to make it clear that this earnings cap only applies at the subscription level, and there is no overall partner cap. So if partners are working with the customer on multiple subscriptions, they have an opportunity to earn up to 120K for each of those subscriptions. More details on the FY16 program, including the rate and the duration, payout duration, will be announced by July 1st, along with the information for all of our other incentive programs. Current FY15 Azure incentive partners will have until end of day, July 17th, to request Azure incentives using PSX. This gives the Opportunity Validation Team, otherwise known as PIOMT, 2 weeks until end of July to close out all the remaining incentive opportunity validations. We will then take a snapshot of PSX incentive opportunities on July 31st and use that to honor the remainder of the 24-month payout duration on subscriptions that were approved in PSX. Starting August 1, partners should reach out to their customer to get themselves assigned as digital partner record. If a partner that is different than the current PSX partner has been assigned as digital partner record prior to August 1, the PSX partner will be paid until July, and then the digital partner record will start earning from August when the program launches. However, the PSX partner will be notified via email in early August that another partner has been assigned as digital partner for that subscription with an action to speak with their customer to get themselves assigned as digital partner record if they feel they should be the partner that should continue to earn. Incentive earning for the FY16 program starts in August, and we will not backdate even if the partner may have been assigned as digital partner record on a given subscription prior to August. Partners will only start to earn once they attain the cloud platform competency and get assigned as digital partner record on a given subscription whichever is latter, but not earlier than August. The partner that is digital partner of record at the end of the month will earn the incentive for the entire month. The partner must also have an active cloud platform gold or silver competency at the end of that month to earn the incentive for that month. So if the partner lost the competency mid-month, the partner will not earn incentives for that month and going forward unless they regain the competency, in which case they will start to earn again. The customer can assign any MPN ID, whether it is a VORG or local MPN ID or an HQ. The payment will be made to the whatever MPN ID that was attached. So if a partner wants to get paid at the local level and uses different local MPN IDs for different subscriptions, Microsoft will pay each to each of the local IDs. However, the partner will need to enroll in CHIP for each of their MPN IDs that were assigned as digital partner record. The CHIP enrollment process itself will not change. If the FY15 Azure Incentive Partner that is already enrolled in the CHIP tool and have already entered payment details, they do not need to go through this enrollment process again for the FY16 program. We have been asking for proof of execution, and we will continue to request proof of execution on a random basis. And for partners that continue to fail to provide a valid POE, we will ask for more POE more often than other partners. Partners should also attain the cloud platform competency, gold or silver, so that they will be eligible for the FY16 Azure Incentive Program starting August 1. By June 8th, the primary MPN contact for the FY15 Azure Incentive Partners will be sent an email notifying them of the changes and key dates. An Azure Incentive Transition FAQ covering more details on the transition will be posted to the Cloud Services Incentives Encyclopedia and to MPN by June 1 for partners and field. Please reinforce this change with the current FY15 Azure Incentive Partners in your area to make sure they are aware of the upcoming changes. I will now hand it over to Derek, who will cover the comms plan.
Thanks, Junsuk. Can you advance?
Yeah.
Thanks. So, and thanks everyone for joining. I just have a few key dates to talk about where we're going to be communicating to specific groups of partners, depending on what's changing for them or what's now available for them. So, as Junsuk mentioned, on June 8th, we will be going out to current partners receiving the current incentive and letting them know what change will be happening on August 1st and what they'll need to do, to continue to receive to get access to the new incentive. And in addition, there'll be some material posted for them on the portal June 1, on the partner portal, that will also give them much more detail, of course, than the email. But the email will give them the key dates, their actions that they need to take, and refer them to that information. On July 1, basically to all incentive-eligible partners, there'll be a broader communication talking about the FY16 incentives portfolio. Again, that'll also be posted in the secure incentives area of the portal. And that also, as you heard earlier, is when the partner-facing dashboard where they can see online subscriptions, not just for Azure but for Office 365, will be available to them. There's no action for them around Azure on that portfolio, on that BI on 7.1, but it does become available for them to start reviewing and start getting familiar with it. On August 1, that's obviously the big date. So a couple of things happen. That's when all the Cloud Competency Partners can access the incentive. So we'll be reminding them that now is the time to make sure that they're attaching themselves, they're having their customers attach their MPN ID to all the subscriptions they're managing and providing service on. They also can, this will be another reminder about the dashboard. The dashboard's a way to kind of go and review all the subscriptions that we think you're managing, so we can make sure that the partner's list of customers they think they have and the list we think they have align. So that's the way that we'll do that. Additionally, if you look at this top line, there'll be a note to the to those receiving today's incentive that end up not eligible for Cloud Platform yet, that will nurture them along to get them into Cloud Platform. So we'll look at their current deal volume, et cetera, and try to help them get into the competency via the sure step motions that we have in place. The other thing happening on 8/1 that's a separate effort but happens on the same date is we begin a daily notification process to partners that are either added or removed from a customer subscription. So this is a less than 24-hour lag from the customer doing it to the partner getting an email in their inbox to tell them, hey, great news, you've been added to these subscriptions as these customers. Hopefully that's no surprise to them. Or, hey, we wanted to let you know you've actually, in the last day, been removed from this subscription or that subscription with this customer. We felt it was important, and a lot of the questions that we've had in the window have been about kind of what happens when different partners get attached. This is the way so that all partners will know that they've either been removed or added to a subscription. Like, they don't have to sit around wondering what's happening. Of course, they can always still go and review the dashboard too, but this will give them a push notification. And then, when we move into the September timeframe, the other good news about Digital Partner of Record is that data that we're generating, that usage data generated from the registered subscriptions, is how we'll be able to qualify people into Cloud Platform competency. So today it's kind of manual. Partners can join Cloud Platform today, and I encourage you to get your partners to join Cloud Platform if they're not already in it and they're driving the Azure business, but it'll be much easier after Partner of Record's in place because we'll be able to automatically look and see what usage they're driving within the subscriptions they manage. We won't have to request them to help provide us with manual information. Okay, great. So with that, thanks. So did you have any closing thoughts before we go to questions?
Yeah, so just to close, a couple of key actions and next steps. The email that Derek was referring to that we're sending out in 2 or 3 weeks will be posted, if it isn't there already, on the Infopedia site on the Azure DPOR. And then you should check out the FY15 Transition FAQ, which will be posted on June 1st on the Cloud Incentive Infopedia and in the Azure Incentive Activation section of MPN for partners. So thanks, guys. We're going to continue taking questions on the IM window.
We have a couple of questions on incentives, and I do want to cover those first. So there was a question on MSP partners who have their own EA. So under the current rules, and this will be the same in the FY16, any subscription owned by the partner won't be eligible for the incentive. However, those will still count towards the partner earning the competency. The next question was, will there be a rate difference between Gold and Silver Cloud Platform competency? So as I said, more details on the rates will be shared by July 1st, but the direction is that there won't be a difference between Gold and Silver in terms of the incentive rate in FY16. The next question from Dennis was, the current FY15 Azure Incentive Guide program runs until end of September. How is that being handled? So the guide is actually currently being revised to reflect the new end date of end of July. This will be posted to partners by early June at the latest. And in the guide, we'll have key dates mentioning that July 17th will be the last day to use PSX, and in the FY16 process, there will be a new process. And the same partners will also get the transition FAQ, which we describe in detail what, when, and how. There are a couple of questions on the PSX partners who are already getting incentives on subscriptions. Do they need to get themselves attached as DPOR to continue to earn? The short answer is they don't need to, because we'll take a snapshot of all the PSX approvals at the end of July, and use that to honor the remainder of the 24 months payout. However, I would encourage partners to, even if they are earning through PSX, I would encourage them to get attached as digital partner record on August 1. By doing that, there is no chance that they will be displaced by another partner, because they are the DPR partner, and that the consumption will also count towards the competency qualification. So I'm looking at the IM window to see if we have any other questions. So there was a question from Greg. Has there been any thought on paying out by service type rather than subscription? So that was one of the key asks that we had made to CNE. Unfortunately, for the FY16, we're not able to get the level of detail and telemetry we need to pay by service. That is something we're actively looking into to see if we can implement in FY17. But in order to do that, we would need a stable and detailed data and consumption data based on service. Question from Rosalina. What about the possibility of Azure MSP receive the 20% for their own subscription? So this, I can say for sure that this has been looked at, and I know that in some areas, such as Western Europe, they have ran pilots so that if the MSP assigns a subscription to end customer, they can get the incentive. However, based on the learnings from that pilot, as well as directional guidance from CNE, we will not be paying consumption incentives on MSPs, and the hero motion going forward will be CSP. Question from Katerina. If we have a deal that contains multiple services and have more than one deployment partner, is it possible that all of them get incentives for their workload and charge for the same subscription ID? So the tool, the V1 of DPR is limited to one partner record per subscription. So whoever is attached as partner record will earn and get credit for all the consumption that happens on the subscription. However, we do know that in many cases, customers work with multiple partners on different services on the same exact subscription. So that is what we're actively looking into for the V2 release, where our hope is to have the ability to attach multiple partners on the same subscription. However, that would also tie with the previous comment I had, where we would need also to get the telemetry and the details on the consumption by service that is reliable. So, question from Christopher Potts. After the first year of the DPR attachment to a subscription ends, what happens? So, I am assuming that question is related to incentive earnings. So, as I mentioned, the payout duration and the rates will be something we're not able to disclose right now, but we will be able to give you visibility as we get closer to July 1. Question from Peter. How does this incentive relate to the CSP program? So, as you may have heard through the CSP call, I think a couple weeks back or the last week, there is an initiative to make Azure available on CSP, and the rates and margins are being discussed as of now. However, this consumption incentive program will not pay on CSP subscriptions. This incentive program will pay on EA, Casa ES, and WebDirect. A question from Rosalia. Will partners be required POE for the partners registered DPR? So that's something I covered today. We will continue to ask for proof of execution on a random basis And the reason we're doing that, not only for this program, but also for the Online Services Advisor program, is that this is still a very new process. So we want to make sure the customers are attaching the right partner. And also, we want, for partners that are not really doing any work and not providing any value for the customer, we want to make sure that we have the ability to check those.
There's a question from Julia around, can you confirm subscriptions bought in EA, open and direct, are eligible? That's for subscriptions?
So for incentives, only EA, CASA ES, and WebDirect subscriptions will be eligible. However, for competency qualification, open subscriptions will also count towards earning the competency, and as well as partner-owned subscriptions. Question from Deepika, and is August 1 the cutoff date for, or partners will get onboarded throughout like advisor? I don't understand what this question is. So as I mentioned, we'll take a snapshot of PSX approvals at July 31st and use that to honor the remainder of the 24 months payout. Regards to CHIP onboarding, if the partner is already registered in CHIP through the FY15 program, they don't have to go through the process again. For net new partners, we will start onboarding if they have the competency and have been attached to at least one subscription as digital partner record. And onboarding will start August. And the follow-up question was, will the incentive be paid for 24 months or until subscription is active? For the PSX approved subscriptions, we will continue to pay for the remainder of the 24 months. For the subscriptions that will come in new in the FY16 period, we'll share those details as we get closer to July 1st.
And that last one around being able to access who's existing POR, that would be available via the reporting dashboard that'll be available to the field on 6/1 and to partners starting 7/1. But be aware that, as Osa talked about, a few of the remaining subscriptions will be migrating in the month of August, or July rather. They should all be there by 8/1 for Azure.
So that's a really good point, Derek. The reason we're asking for partners to start getting it themselves assigned on August 1 is, as Osa mentioned, there's a migration that's going on from the old platform where there is no VPOR feature to the new platform where there is one, and that migration will end by end of July. So, question from Maria: today only a few partners can earn the consumption incentive. In FY16, will there be an open list? And the answer is, I think Derek also covered this. Yes, the gold or silver class platform partners will be eligible for the new incentives post August 1.
Yeah, so just to be really clear, that you must be in the competency to earn the new incentive. You must be in the competency and attached.
Yes.
That's the criteria.
So basically, I'll play a scenario out. If the partner doesn't have the competency, they start getting assigned to various subscriptions, and on, let's say, December, they attain the competency, then we'll start paying incentives from December on those subscriptions that they have been attached as digital partner record. The question from Stephen, if there's a switch in a partner, let's say partner A was digital partner for 3 months, and then from the 4th month, another partner is attached, then it's the same thing that's happening right now in the PSX. It means the customer is telling us is that partner B is the partner that's now actually providing services. So partner A will earn for the 3 months that they were attached as POR, assuming they have the competency, and the new partner, partner B, that got attached will start earning from the attached month. Sam, question from Sam: Can partners be POR on their own subscription? And the answer is yes. If it's a subscription they own, then they can add themselves. However, and it will be counted towards the competency qualification, but not incentive earnings. Another question on the rate. Will we maintain 20% for 2 years? So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not able to share the rate and the payout duration at this point. That will be shared as we get close to July 1, when we announce all of our rates for all of our incentive programs.
Okay.
I think there's one more question from Deepika. Will there be a cutoff date to onboard partners to CHIP tool? And the short answer is no. We will continue to onboard as we identify partners, because partners can earn the competency at any time, any given point in time. So we will have a weekly onboarding cycle where once we identify the new partners that have earned the competency and got attached to at least one, we'll start the onboarding process for them at that week. So another question from Stephen: why do we stop paying incentives after 24 months? Why not incentivize partners to ensure Azure is driving consumption, basically? So that's a great question. And as I said earlier, I cannot disclose the rates or the payout duration at this point. But that's a really valid point, and you will be able to see more details on what that looks like by July 1st. Usa, do you want to take Deidre's question on?
Deidre's question?
Related historically.
So there's a high number of questions so there's a lot of partners that aren't qualified for cloud platform based on the performance. Now they're not meeting the performance threshold. If they keep attaching to POR, they start attaching POR, and then later earn the competency, I'm guessing is what we're saying here. If so, like, this is similar to one of June 6 scenarios. So like, if on August 1 they're not a cloud platform competency member, and they sell a new subscription and they're driving consumption on it, and they attach themselves in August, that's great. They're not going to get incentive for that, but it will count towards earning the competency. And let's say in October they finally earn the competency, they won't get paid back in time for August and September consumption, but then they would start getting paid in October. So you get paid for when you have the competency and you're attached.
Mm-hmm.
Question from Charlotte: Will there be any messaging to justify to partners why they will be penalized, i.e. not receiving the consumption incentive for providing managed services through CSP or MSP, rather than deploying project-based services, Azure services? So the basic premise is that CSP tier 1, tier 2 partners will either have margin or rebate or both for driving the sales motion through that vehicle. And for MSPs, there were multiple issues encountered in some of the pilots that were run that we learned we were not able to scale. And directionally, any partner that's providing managed services should leverage the CSP license cycle. But that is a good point, and we'll look to see if there's any kind of messaging that we can provide.
Well, there's a question from Carlos. Can delegated admin roles attach PR? So we actually have a question out to the BG on this particular topic, and we'll get a response. But what we'll do is make sure we have that response in the field-facing FAQ I spoke about earlier on. So that'll be in there.
Question from Katie Coakley. Will there be a need for public sector disclosure after DPR launches? And the short answer is no. Since the partners won't be using PSX, but this will be a customer-driven motion, customers will attach the NPN ID. However, we will be able to see through MS Sales whether the customer is public sector or not. And as I mentioned, in certain geos, such as US and India, due to local regulations, we're not able to pay advisor fees on public sector customers.
We've got them. Okay, I think we covered.
I think we've covered the vast majority of the questions. If there is something we missed, can you please type in the I window now?
Thanks, guys. While we wait for those questions to come in, I've got a link that I just posted there to the conversation window. Folks, this is a link to a short survey. We do appreciate you taking a moment to fill it out prior to logging out. After you enter your email address, our voting scale is on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. So if you got some great information from our team, or if you have some more questions or recommendations for future events, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to click the submit button at the bottom of the page to ensure that your feedback has been received. And with that, I will turn it back to the team. There's a couple more questions coming into the queue for you there.
Hey, Stephen. Yeah, we will comb through, especially relating to DPR, we will comb through the questions that we've walked through today and make sure that they're included in the field-facing FAQ I spoke about.
Okay, and Julie has a question, June Suk.
Julie's, let me read this one. A custom and open can design a POR that will contribute to the performance and the cloud competency for the partner, but this partner cannot touch incentives on the subscription. So if I understand this correctly, I think the question is, can a customer who owns an open license attach partners, and will the partners either earn the incentive or get credit for the competency qualification? So if that question is right, then the answer is they don't get the incentive, they get a credit for getting the competency. There is a EMEA OSA community call on June 8th. What can be communicated to partners at this time regarding Azure DPOR? So it depends on what type of partners are in that community. But the basic premise that you can share at this point is the eligibility for this incentive program is gold or silver platform. So if you don't have that competency, please make sure you get that so that you'll be able to start earning when we launch it in August 1.
Great question in the queue, guys. Is there going to be a session on this at WPC?
So there won't be a specific session on DPR or incentives. However, as we did last year, the plan is to do roundtables with each of the areas where we'll discuss all of our partner incentives, not just Azure. Let's see if there is any other question. Question from Charlotte. You mentioned CSP as the hero motion to push with partners rather than MSP partner EA. However, we position CSP for Office and EMS as an SMB play, not enterprise. Will this be different from for Azure? So That was the direction we received from CNE. I can follow up with my CNE counterparts. Bear in mind that Azure and CSP has not been launched. It's still on its way to getting finalized. So let me connect and see if there's anything that I can provide to Charlotte. So I can definitely say for CSP is that the team at Corp and for that manages the CSP incentive program, as well as the worldwide operations team, they're still looking to see whether the operational complexities and the necessities can be solved. So they're actively working towards the operational pieces of launching an incentive for Azure CSP. So that's still in the works, basically.
Okay, we'll just give a minute or a couple of seconds if there are no more questions. Thank you guys for making this time. It was very helpful for us to be able to connect and answer some of your questions. Thanks to Derek and Junsuk as well for collaborating on this. And have a good day, guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Osa. So, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the recorded portion of today's Infopedia web conference. Again, the recording will be available in 24 hours on Infopedia Media at the website that Caroline was just kind enough to post into the IM window for us there. And so that will be available in 24 hours. I'd like to extend a big thank you to our presenter team, and thank you, audience, for logging in and joining us today.